So this next section is called the development section. The opening is called the exposition, where the composer introduces his ideas and thematic material. And the development is exactly what the name implies, in that the composer then develops and evolves these ideas further, plays around with them, goes into different keys and does all sorts of things, before returning to the recapitulation, where we have the themes restated again. And the idea of the development is to create some interest and perhaps some tension, which is ultimately resolved with the recapitulation. Now, this is exactly what one would expect in sonata form. So what Beethoven does is quite traditional. He goes into the relative minor key here, which is also quite traditional. But there's a twist at the end, or in the just before we get to the recapitulation, which I'll go into later. Now, I'm imagining a slightly different change of scenery here. This is I think this is a game of hide and seek, the few kids playing, and they're playing in a big old creaky house. Perhaps that's grandma's house, and they're visiting for tea. They're playing around while the adults have tea. And grandma's a bit of a Mrs. Havisham type, and there's large parts of the house that are maybe not used. Perhaps a dining room, drawing room, or and a few other rooms or something like that. And there's all sorts of like sheets and things. And so I think of this as sort of this bit as firstly some of the kids who are hiding, just going finding a place to hide. What about here? And here I come, ready or not, here I come. Just to me, this is. Oh no, what about here? And then ready or not. And that's now the seeker is on the go. And then what follows next is I think it's a bit of almost a chase. I mean, he doesn't know where the others are, but there's sort of an intensity, and he's sort of going around quite frantically trying to find them. So he wants to win this game. Think of it is that this sort of he starts off, but they're not there. What about here? Not there either. That's sort of exasperated. They're not there. Where are they? And then I think maybe actually he's quite close. He just didn't realize he was that close. And so then we get into then we get this. The hiders are looking to see where he is, and maybe changing their position to avoid being discovered. I think that bit there is the seeker said, "Oh, I see you. Oh, now I've got you," but not really. So, and I think so basically the game dies out, it's inconclusive, it goes on forever, nobody knows who wins. And then at some point I think this return to the main theme, maybe the parents calling them back, okay, time to go now, or time to have dinner, or whatever. But now, this is where things get a bit interesting, because we're basically at the recapitulation. So, what you'd expect in sonata form is that you return back to the main theme, which is what we do here. There's something not quite right. This is in the wrong key. It should be, but instead we have this. Which is in D major. So is it that Beethoven doesn't understand sonata form, or is he just having us on? Well, it's the latter. He's certainly toying with us, or just messing with us. Because basically what he does is he goes into the wrong key. What's going on here? Does he not know what he's doing? He's playing with us. I got a bit carried away there, but basically, it's kind of a false recapitulation. What he does is he does bring us back to the main theme, but in the wrong key, and then he makes it quite clear that something's not quite right, and then he creates a bit of tension and sort of strings it out a bit, and suspense almost, if you like, and then he resolves it, and all is well. And then what follows in the rest of the recapitulation is very much what you'd expect. It's the same themes and ideas, a few slight differences, and we're moving towards back to the home key, so we end in F major. Yeah, I think with this, my narrative, I'm not going to sort of stick to it rigidly because that probably gets a bit contrived, but how I see this is we're basically sort of recycling or re-experiencing all of these different themes and motifs that we've had before that are all part of this this playful setting in this game. And how I think of it is that sort of you play a certain game one day and then you play until everyone's very tired, and the next day the child wants to play exactly the same day again. Same game again, and it's the same setting and themes and all of that, and then the next day again and again. It's sort of kind of an endless cycle, as it must seem to some parents. And so that's kind of how I see this ending. It's just sort of leaving us with all of these fun snippets and memories. So I'm just going to play it through to the close for you, and you'll recognize that a lot of the material is similar. I'm going to go from the correct recapitulation, where we're in the right key. And that concludes the first movement. And then we go into the second movement, which is it's a different mood and character, and also a bit different to what we'd expect in sonata. And perhaps I'll cover that in another video. But thanks so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed this.